Hello and welcome to Swiss Cheese Trails, where we are hiking through Switzerland on the Alpine Panorama Trail. We're going to see not only the farmland that makes Switzerland and the Swiss cheese product so great, but we get all these wonderful alpine mountain views, and sometimes we go through the cities. This one is Einsiedeln, where the Einsiedeln Abbey has been here for 1,000 years. Today we're going from Einsiedeln to Unterägeri. This is a 19-kilometer hike. Should take us about 5.5 hours, and a little over 2,000 feet of ascent and descent. Again, I'm burying the lead here because we're gonna get some bells going too, and that's pretty excellent. This is a great town to spend the evening in. It's kind of a tourist town, but the abbey here that we're looking at has been the main attraction since 1100. Also, if you're here in the wintertime for Christmas, this Christmas market, it's only for 2 weekends out of the year during the Christmas season, but it is just spectacular, and you'll see why. This entire plaza is filled with booths, and all the main street all the way down to the train station basically is filled with booths, and it's just a lot of fun. We'll get up here to the main scenery here. One piece of history is the ongoing conflict from the 1300s of land between here and Schweiz. We'll see part of that. I'll try to get some video because we'll see two mountain peaks. The Mather Mountains, Mather Gross and Mather Klein, and that is where we've got video. Either you just saw it or you're gonna see it next week, and it's just fabulous. And so that land, this is the route to get up to that land. That is the Abbey. Thank you for staying with us. We're gonna go down the main street here and definitely pause, take a look around, see what the cafes are that you might want to eat at. I'll turn on kind of on the other side of town. All right, we are on the outskirts of Einsiedeln, and this is Mather Gross, the large peak in the background. So this land here, well, this is the way to get there, but this was the disputed area. We are in front of the hospital, so there is healthcare here. Also, behind me, in front of me, is a good view of the Alpine ski jump, not to mention some nice homes. It is a Sunday. There are a lot of people here, and just like that, we are out of town. There's the ski jump. Solar barn. Welcome back to Swiss Cheese Trails. We are at the top of Katzenstricht, the first of our inclines. We're 1,050 meters. You just hear the bells of the Abbey. Let's see if I can spin around and get the Abbey here. Oh, I don't know the names of most of those peaks. They're all really very close, and none of them are ones that we've walked by. A lot of good cowbells. We get our first glimpse of where we're hiking into the Moor area. These are high altitude bogs, and I'm really excited to see. They're you know, regular bogs, peat. For centuries, people have harvested the peat from this area for fires and heat, just like Scotland. Now you can't do that anymore because it's all protected area. We are entering the small town of Ascent. Yes, I got that mostly. Ascent. You can see there's a train, and we are now in the section known as the Rothenthurm moors. So this is the bog area. Well, we went through Altamont, and this is a cool view. Again, it kind of looks like Wyoming, Montana, with the snow-capped mountains in the distance, and the prairie here. Of course, what helps is there's a horse stable right here, so a lot of horses are passing me. I've been looking forward to seeing this, and it kind of happened quickly. But this is all protected wetlands, so much so that in the 80s, I believe it is, the entire, again, Switzerland is a direct democracy, so you can put ballots to be voted statewide and nationally, and literally people are individually voting for these ideas or laws or whatever it happens to be, instead of voting for a politician to then vote on their behalf. And so my understanding is that this was voted in as a national wetland protected area and actually changed the Constitution for that purpose. There are two paths that hiking paths that connect through here. We're of course on National Route number 3, the Moor Weg, the Moor Trail, and that goes north-south. We're going east-west, so we cross right here. What a cool piece of land. By the way, one of the reasons why this needs to be protected as much as it is, there are really only 3 ways through this section of the Alps, going from Zurich on south. And this one goes basically through to Schweiz. And if you're down Lake Zurich a little bit and you want to get to the Schweiz area, shortcut your way to the Gotthard Tunnel area. This is the route to take. Otherwise, you got to go west of here through Zug, and that's very crowded. Zug Lake Side Road, or you go pretty far south, or I'm sorry, pretty far east. We came down, you can see where I'm pointing, there's a red roof barn kind of in a meadow on the top. Pretty sure that's where we came from. Looks like that's the road that I ran down. Just some mountain peaks to look at here. The Craggy Teeth there, I believe that is the Mather Klein, the smaller of the 2 peaks. We are looking straight south, pretty much straight south to Schweiz. Well, I'm at St. Jost, and you can see behind me there is a little restaurant called the Alpine Panorama Trail. From White Snow Peak to White Snow Peak. So we are, you can just sort of see this line, and that's going for the most part southwest, and that's what we're doing. We're going to be walking right along that edge, getting these views. Whew. All right, so that was about 700 feet up without a break. I feel well taxed. And I get up here and, you know, there's families and kids and dogs, and I don't know how they got up here. I see one car and I see, like, you know, 40 people. All right, I got a little peak knowledge going here. This is the Mayer, Gross and Klein. Gross is the higher of the 2 teeth. And then this big flat white area here, the peak to the right, that's Engelberg. And we keep going all the way south, and the last peak, it's just over the roof of the restaurant. That's Eiger. So we are seeing in down to Eiger and Jungfrau and the heart of the Oberland, Bernese Oberland. Oh, the things you see. Well, I'm not sure what the game is behind me, but there's a bunch of wood carvings and a bunch of other things going on up on the hill here. Seems to be a robot or a crane, some other game. We're looking north and straight west, so we're not getting the mountain peaks anymore. They'll be right behind me. What we did find though is some kind of gathering. And where we're going is Unterägeri, is straight down. Pretty sure that's Unterägeri. Just the restaurant that's up here that everybody goes to on the weekends. Ägerisee, right down here. Great view of Rigi, and behind that is Pilatus. So if you hear the name Pilatus, you know that Lucerne is nearby, because Pilatus is basically Lucerne's house mountain. I mentioned earlier I could look at a Google map 100 times, and I have, and still not really get the distances. Yesterday I was on the train coming back from Zug, and we were at a point overlooking Lake Zurich, and I was looking down a valley, and all of a sudden it appeared to me new. I'd seen it a lot before, but all of a sudden I'm looking way off in the distance at this valley, and it's a brand new line sight because I was just walking there in section 6, and I knew what was going on over there. It's just it was really exciting, and I'm really excited that I'm doing this, because the things that I set out to do that I hope would happen are happening. And I know I'm getting redundant, because I've started to say that now in a lot of different videos, but that's how much is happening. Just reading a book yesterday on Swiss hydropower, and learning so much about the positioning of cities. And I talked on film about Lucerne and Zurich and Genève, Thun, and a bunch of others that were at the bottom of the lakes, which is where the river is then going to come out, and most of those rivers go north toward the Rhine. Obviously Geneva goes south toward the Rhone, but I thought that was a good place to be because it's a water source, and then eventually it was a tax source for trade and merchant ships. But the hydropower taught me that that's where you wanted to be for power. And the task of moving power, of taking energy and moving it, has been a task that until the last 200 years has been almost impossible for humankind. So everyone has to go to where the power is, and that's the water wheels. And it's only recently that we've been able to harness power. We've been able to put it into batteries, or put it into gas, or understand how oil works, and take advantage of that potential energy that's within a gallon of petro, as they say over here. But it really, this energy question and energy reality is such a huge impact on how mankind works. Almost the entirety of human history is based on energy, and you're watching it like, this hydropower of this country. It's just amazing, and that's why Switzerland is Switzerland today. All right, tune in tomorrow. Walking through Switzerland. I don't really have to say much. I mean, just use your 360-degree controls. There's a view like this on almost every segment, sometimes two. of the things I wanted to point out, since we're in this just totally beautiful place, this valley here, Ägerisee, it's not really a tourist place. It's Unterägeri, which is where we're going to end today and start tomorrow, segment 8 and 9. That feels like a resort town, but it's a resort for Swiss. Swiss people know about this place. They know about this valley. This is off the beaten path from anybody outside of the country. And if you know about this valley, then you know about this view, and coming up here to this restaurant up here, or the restaurant St. Jost just up at the tree line over there. You know you've got these views in the summer. Imagine what you'd know if you lived here in the wintertime. These are the secrets that we can unveil here walking across the country. If you get over here, check out this valley. Oh, can you see the wind on the lake? Oh, that is pretty neat from up here. Wow. So we're facing south again. It's going to get windy, as you can see. So welcome back to Swiss Cheese Trails. This is, we're headed to Unterägeri, and this is Oberägeri. Wow. Wow, okay. Through there is the Gotthard Pass. Wow. Alpine Panorama Trail. All right, welcome back to Swiss Cheese Trails. I just ran into another YouTuber, and his channel name is German, but it translates to the luck of the summit. So that was kind of cool. And we had a nice conversation. I'm walking on the ridge. We're kind of like at the end of our high hike. We're going to be going down into Unterägeri pretty soon. We're looking straight north. This is Lake Zurich and the city of Zurich way up in the distance there. That is a pretty neat view. So from my apartment, I should be able to see this. And now I've been up here. That's one of the joys of getting out here, because I can see see where I'm going, and then we've got the high peaks off over there. And this is, it's ridge walking right now. It's what, 20 feet wide, but we've got the wind coming up from the south to the north, and it just creates a nice breeze in the hot afternoon sun. So this is a pretty easy, stressless part of the hike. Today we're ending section 8 of the Alpine Panorama Trail. We are literally over the town of Unterägeri, and this is the Ägerisee, Lake Ägerisee. And this kind of marks a turning point, because I've done section 9 already. You haven't seen it yet. This is section 8, so I know where we go tomorrow, which is over here. This is Waldspitz, and then behind these trees is Zuckerberg, and we are going to leave these northern mountains and western mountains. We're going to move into the middle Bernese Oberland mountains, starting with Mount Rigi, which you can just sort of see peeking here. So I know I'm going to come around here and get down to the lake, but I just wanted to point out that this is probably the last time we'll see those peaks, unless we get really high and can look back. But here we go. So thank you for tuning in. You can see how beautiful these meadows are. Just all the colors of all the little flowers, little alpine flowers. So just under 5 hours, just under 12 miles, we ascended 2,100 feet. That's a good day. We descended, we will descend about the same, 2,000 or so feet. Well, there are a number of these restaurants on this hike, so you don't need to worry about food. Right, welcome to Unterägeri. The one video I didn't get yesterday was of the main church. Now we're coming in behind it, so that makes a lot of sense. A lot of construction in this town. Well, that's a good sign or a bad sign depending on who you are. This is where the old town is. Unterägeri. All right, tomorrow we go straight this way toward Waldspitz, which is the mountain over there. We don't actually touch it. We come up and around and come back over this way. So I'll see you tomorrow for a new section. In the meantime, we're gonna go have a side hike, and these side hikes are pretty exciting if you haven't already seen them. So I'm excited to show you this.